comes, and that's
She's
fine.
not
She ain't
coming.
gonna make it.
Yeah, Luann's not coming and
Oh.
Missy's not coming.
Oh, okay. So we'll go ahead and call to order, and it's 6:39 and
38.
or 38.
Oh, all right. 39, 30.
And mine might be a little bit off. It just state your name, so we'll, for the record, so we'll know everybody who's here.
Julie Ramirez. Lynette Fetterspill.
Doug Thomasini.
Catherine Yelton.
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle Hessler.
Okay.
Mickey's here.
And Mayor Ball's here, and also Chris Maldonado is here. And we have a quorum, so we can pledge
allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we don't have to take these in order.
Yep.
If somebody wants to, because I don't know if we'll get through all of them tonight. Depends on how much, we went over a lot of stuff the last time. Is there anything anybody wants to do right away that they have information on or want to give information on? We can skip to it.
I can do I can do number 9, the dead animal disposal
Okay.
service. Did you
We'll
reach
start.
out to them?
We got an answer back.
Okay.
We can use regular trash bags.
Okay. Perfect.
And they'll come as often as we call. There's not a set schedule.
Right.
We can use our own freezer.
Perfect. There you go.
There you
Easy
go.
enough.
Easy
But
peasy.
keep that in mind. If your freezer breaks down,
Right.
they will bring one for you. Right?
Yes,
Isn't
she
that what
did say
said?
that they would provide us even
So
additional
it's
one.
Blue Bonnet
Bonnet
Crematory
Crematory.
Service is who I found. They're going to come pick up the remains for y'all.
No more burying.
No more
dead
nasty
dogs.
stuff for you, sir.
Well, we have to get the freezer over here
And it's
first.
called Blue
Well,
Bonnet
We did have to bury
Mine's
it.
Blue Bonnet.
We buried.
Crematory. Or whatever.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, but at least you can use gloves and a bag, and you don't have to. All you do is tie the knot, and it's over with. You know.
That part anyway.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm gonna do.
basically what he's been doing now. anyway.
Are they just going to come when we call them and tell them we have something?
They come once a week, I think.
They can come whenever. Like
She said as often as we want. She
Whatever.
said they know some places
It's
fill
not
up
often.
quicker than others. Some call them once a month. I mean,
And
they're
it's
frozen.
$9.
$9.
$9 a
pretty
bag.
good.
Yeah, super nice people too. Super nice.
Yeah, she
Now,
really
we
wanted.
have that item on our city council agenda for this Thursday, so we'll get that one approved.
Good.
Well,
Does it
present it
need-
for approval.
There you
Yeah.
I can't commit to
Yeah.
anything.
I'm sure nobody's.
Okay, and how about I know I said stuff on the microchip requirements. Did you?
I did gather some prices for the
Okay.
meeting Thursday, which would be just the scanner, universal scanner from Amazon is a little bit more expensive than another website I used. That scanner is also universal. Then there's a box of 25 chips with a syringe they're $10. Comes out, so $250.
Right.
And then they also have a packet where it's the universal scanner and 25 syringes. So it just depends on what council.
So we
Whatever
need-
y'all approve. Okay.
So the scanner is how much? Is it separate
get
or?
one.
Oh,
Yeah, because we would need to order probably more than 250.
why are we getting the chips? Are we going to do that ourselves?
did a chip program, I think, is what y'all talked about last time.
What we discussed last time to get information and resource material out to the community is providing a microchip clinic. Therefore, we can get people like one foot started in the right direction.
Oh, that
so
doesn't need to be a vet then?
no.
Oh, okay.
Only thing out of any of this, the only thing a vet has to do is a rabies vaccine or spay or neuter. We can provide. I can pretty much do everything else,
Oh, okay.
So
or teach anybody to do anything else.
one
Vaccinate.
one
You won't be teaching
scanner.
me, 'cause I don't.
Taylor said she'll help me.
She would help. Yeah.
I could do them too.
One
Really?
scanner is $367. It comes with this case, and I don't know what all these other pieces are. But then the other scanner from ProScan is $320. A box of 25 microchips. Does it just come with one syringe, and you just?
No, each chip comes in a.
Oh, okay.
in a thing.
Because I was like, oh, that's what we were wondering.
Preloaded, basically.
That's $250, but then you can also get the Jumpstart kit, which comes with the scanner and the chips for $470. So again, just depends on what
So if we wanted to buy more chips later, how do they come? In bundles of?
On this webpage, bundles of 25 per count. I can't find any more on this particular webpage, no more than
That
25.
AKC Reunited has,
Oh, that's
I
right.
think,
And I want to say this is where I got,
that could be where you got
I
that.
think it is. I'll double
That
check.
had the best plans as far as the package deals.
Okay. So from your perspective, how many do you think, they don't have an expiration or anything, correct? Okay. Can they be used to also add, once they have a chip, can their rabies and all their vaccinations and all that be added to that chip?
To the chip, no. ACS currently uses a thing called Pet Hub, I believe. I'm trying to get some more information for you on that, but you can look. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, is Pet Hub. And that's what holds all the vaccine history
Okay.
and what they've got. Like,
So if an animal's picked up and Chris scans it and says, oh, it's got a chip, all he's going to find out is who the owner is. No,
you have to call, so you call whoever it says, it'll say 24-hour pet watch or AKC United or whatever, whoever the chip is from, and then you call and you give them the number, and then it'll, now since you're calling from the city, they will release that information. But like if Julie were to just call,
Yeah,
they would
not
just
happening.
take Julie's information and pass it on to the owner.
Got it.
And
Or
that's
they
if the
will call
owner.
for me
And that's
while
if
I'm
the,
on the line, or they'll call for me and then let them know and then get back to me and tell me, okay, they said
Coordinate.
I can give you the number,
Right.
their number.
Right.
Oh, that's based on if the owner registered their chip.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And that's, I suggest that, when we go through this, that we help people and show people, this is what you need to do, to go ahead and register. Even if we, had some way to have a laptop there so
Well,
that we
that's what
could
I
go
was going to
through the
suggest
process.
is Chris could bring his laptop.
That way, everything,
And they can do it
everything's
right
done
then.
and not wait for them
Yeah.
to do it.
yes, we
because
want to
That
take as
part's
much
probably the most
responsibility off them as
time-consuming.
possible if
Yeah.
we're going to make this
Now,
work.
there
Exactly.
was, we're not charging for the chips?
Well, my thought is this. I think right now, like Wellness on Wheels, I want to say they charge $10 per chip.
Okay.
So if we're looking at, let's say, give me a total price for a scanner with chips. Well, take the scanner out of the equation. The chips cost how much?
$250.
$250 for 25 of them?
Yes. So $10
So they're
each.
$10 a piece. So they're doing them at cost.
So, because there is another kit that's called, it's 25 count, same chips, but it's with prepaid enrollment and tags. So all of them come with tags, but this has prepaid enrollment because the people are going to have to pay to enroll. So that's another holdup when you're doing this is,
Well,
Oh, really?
I know that I've got my dogs registered on a free site. And I can include their picture, or I have included their pictures, all the information.
no matter which
that-
site you use.
Yeah, well, this one that I got on, I don't even remember what it's called. I know it's in
But
my
it came with the
computer.
chip or?
No.
So
I
these
just
chips
entered.
could probably be used on any site?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As long as you have the number, they'll
Oh,
have the
okay.
number, the,
Well,
Our
did you say
citizens.
doesn't it tell you to call somebody? Well, I mean, if you don't register with the place that's telling you to call, how are they gonna know?
Well, you have to register with whoever the chip is through. You have to.
And there's a fee for that.
Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. There's so many to
Right.
choose from. So we would have to chip a dog, scan it, and see, what the enrollment fee is.
Okay. So the chips aren't tied to any specific provider or anything.
If you,
ProScan, probably this one.
yes, it's
Well, this one's
whoever you
not-
buy the chips
you know what?
through.
This is looking at the box of the chips. It is AKC Reunite. I think is
Right.
what it's
So
actually called.
that's who they're linked through.
So their website would probably be where you go
And then
to
you
enroll
type in
your
the
chip.
and then you register it there
And
too.
and what's the fee to do that registration?
I don't know because the difference in this cost is $15.50 per microchip with prepaid enrollment.
So it's
So for
including the
us, it's like
enrollment.
$5.50. I don't know if you.
For us?
Well, I mean, if
Oh,
we,
if-
for the
if
pet
we,
owners.
Yeah.
yeah. Now, if you just do, single,
So it's a one-time registration for that chip for that animal. It's not
It says
like
lifetime recovery service, enrollment and collar tag. Now, again, all the collar tags are included, so that doesn't matter.
So one of them is that you get a chip and a registration. One of the
It's
options.
prepaid enrollment. So you still have to go on and enroll. It's just prepaid.
That
I
sounds-
will look up the one that I've got because that was, you know, to me, I got my
Isn't the
for babies.
24-hour one free?
yeah, that's I think that's it.
24 hour
Because
pet watch.
Pet
I
watch
got
is free.
my animals at ACS, and I had no clue because nobody told me that you had to go on there, and I was, you know, that was quite a while back, so I had no clue that you had to go on and register them, you know. And then I was on all of these animal pages and found out, oh, you got to go put your information in. So I found out that ACS had not done any of that, and then I also found out it cost, you know.
And some
A certain
vets do.
amount.
When I got mine dogs, I think it must have been prepaid because we just paid for the chip. And I asked them about the registration, and they said, no, we'll go ahead and take care of that because they already had my information.
Right.
So they said that they would enroll my dogs.
So let me ask this question then. If we, because my vision originally was that the city would help get this population situation under control by helping to subsidize some of the cost. But I can tell you, vets I've talked to and other people I've talked to said absolutely not. Because if they're going to own the pet, they need to be responsible. What we're doing is making it more readily available for them. But I'm going to back up from that. I think we charge them $10 for the chip, and we pay the registration. So we are subsidizing it in a way, but that way we know for a fact that it got registered.
Makes sense.
Because that's kind of the stopgap that, you know, yeah, I'll come in and get it chipped and everything, and then I'm not going to, you know,
Right.
not take the time.
No follow through.
So the
So-
people that pay for the chip and get it done can just fill out some sort of a index card or
Well, no,
something.
we would have his computer down there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it can still be done after the fact if we
It
just have their
can be done after the
information.
fact, yeah. As long as we have whatever information we need, then we could do that.
Now ACS does it for San Antonio residents. They do it for $5. They do
Really?
it free for anybody in the city.
Free
And-
chipping?
Yes.
If you're a San Antonio resident, you
Yeah.
get free.
Oh, for San Antonio
And they do,
residents.
but I mean, if you're a
$5
non-resident, it's
for
$5.
non-residents.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, and
That
they
is.
should.
That's
I mean,
not
they
the
buy it
regis-
in bulk.
I know
though,
that.
you
Well, that's
know.
why I was asking.
Like they buy it in
25 is a
thousands.
nice little number, but, you know, we have more than
It's a
25.
small
It's a very
dent in the
small number.
population.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Bear County, because we can purchase through a Bear County contract. So,
I can
maybe-
check buy board or something
yeah,
for any
check buy board
veterinarians
and
or-
also check with, what's her name? Is it Linda at purchasing?
Mhm.
And because obviously they're buying them from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can get a better deal and more quantity, and then we can reassess the price structure after that.
Mm-hmm.
So really what the recommendation from you guys needs to be is what's the best registration to use?
Then that would determine which microchips we buy.
No?
No? Am I incorrect in saying that?
You know, for some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one you have there, it's
You have
for
to
that
go
one.
on.
It's for that AKC
one.
Reunite.
Mhm.
Like if you buy the microchips, then they're going to link it to Home Again or 24-hour Pet Watch or AKC Unite or.
So how
There's
do
like
we
three
get
other
chips that are for a 24-hour pet watch?
I'll
Yeah,
have to
but
find
see,
out.
my dogs, like I said, I got them from ACS. They're registered on 24-hour. All I had to do was put in their number.
Yeah,
but
and that's what I'm
saying is how do we
wondering.
get those chips though?
Originally
Well,
came
that's
from.
whatever Bear County is doing,
okay.
let's find out what they're doing and we'll use that. So we also have this agenda item on Thursday's meeting. Or
Okay.
we have that item for consideration on Thursday. And we'll get all the details together before then to make sure we have.
So when you use a universal scanner, no matter where you've got the dog registered, it just pops up the owner,
It'll
Pop up
Or-
the
pop up
microchip
the
number.
number.
the chip number.
chip
What do you
number.
do then? You have to go through every website?
No,
No, it'll tell you on the bottom of the chip number who it's registered through.
Oh, okay, well
Then you
then.
can sit down and do it online, like put the number
Oh,
in.
okay, so it might say
you
the
have to
number and
call
then
and
say
hold
home
and-
again or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, then you go to that website, type in the number and
Or
then.
it'll tell you who to call.
Or who to call. Okay, gotcha. Which do you use at work? Do you know?
We use Home Again.
Because this one is home.
Pets First Veterinary Center in Castle Hills.
Oh,
Because this one, it looks like it's home again too, the scanner.
Yeah,
This comes without chips.
without chips.
But that's probably about $40 more than the Pro Scan.
well, check with
But I
Bear
guess it
County,
doesn't
because they
matter.
have, anything that we buy off the Bear County contracts is much.
You're gonna get a tax deduction too. I mean, you won't have to.
We don't,
No, we
we're not,
won't
we're
pay
tax
tax.
exempt. so-
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, so we
yeah,
don't
you
have-
won't have to.
Exactly.
If you can order through them.
So I was looking through here to see, we're talking about bulk microchips and supplies, Blue Bonnet and Deason's, and then a facility. Okay, so Catherine will figure out the
We'll check the buy
microchip.
board and
Yeah.
what chips Bear County uses. So we checked out the.
Chris, when you went to your training, did they talk about any of that?
The
Chips, yeah. Like where they would recommend that you get them or,
Yeah, but she just told us she didn't.
Ah.
Probably gone now.
got it. Okay.
I could probably reach out to her too. I think her name was Ann. Does
That
that
was the
sound familiar?
assistant.
Oh, that was the assistant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can ask the ladies at Kirby. I'm friends with them.
Okay.
And we'll be there.
When are you going?
Well, so that's a good question.
Can we talk about that?
We
What?
can talk about it after the meeting.
Okay.
Talk about what?
Keep it all in perspective.
The tour.
Yes.
A tour.
Oh,
Okay. Anyone want to talk about the foster and adoption program?
does anybody want to give any information on that? I think, I don't know who it was, but somebody mentioned in an email to me that we should assign people certain things to do.
Right.
So that might help us to get, so we know somebody's doing it.
Exactly. I feel like because there's so much and we need so much information that each committee member could have a responsibility.
Yeah.
Like Julie could do the guidelines for the lost and found and working on the website page, the tab for the website and posting on Nextdoor and posting to the lost and found sites for whatever the criteria is that's set up the 3 days or
Yeah.
whatever. And then somebody could work on the information for and making arrangements for the spay and neuter program. Things like that, just because I feel like there's so much.
It helps, and when we
is.
do that on
There's
the
a lot.
city council as
Right.
well, every council member kind of gets a project to work on, and it helps, because it's
Right.
either something they're very familiar with, or they have passion for, or they,
Right.
or they didn't have anything else to do.
And they got assigned
And
to
it
that
prevents a
duty.
lot of double work.
It does.
It does, because
It
I don't
really
want to be
does.
trying to work on all of
All
these
of it.
things
Yeah.
and
Yes.
use this time. I'd rather work on something that no
Is-
one has resource information to. Like anybody can call and find out about spay and neuter.
Yeah.
Julie's really interested in lost and found, whatever Michelle wants to do, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I feel like, oh, I can do that. I mean, I can answer all these questions, but
But you
that's not-
can't do it all.
I
Yeah.
can't do it all and
know.
work and
Yeah.
yeah, no.
So
So along those
we
lines,
can talk
who
about all of them,
has-
but
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, I think you just threw Julie on number
I already
7.
Yeah, I already talked to her about that. I
Alright.
asked because we were trying to figure out, we need a game plan.
what does any, I mean, I know that she's going to work on it, but does anybody have anything they want to say about it now? To give her ideas, questions?
Well, one of the things that we had talked about, Chris and Catherine and I, any animal that gets picked up, you're taking pictures of all of them, and you have a report or something that you're filling out. So, if you want to work with them to kind of see what it is what information we're collecting, and maybe how there's a lost pet thing,
Mm-hmm.
and every lost flyer looks the same.
Yeah,
So
that could do something.
Well, no, I mean, but it's good because
It's
eye-catching.
it becomes universally
Because
recognizable.
people will remember it.
So
Right.
maybe you could work with them to come up with something very similar to that. I don't know that we want to use our official reports, but
Probably not. I mean,
something else that she could use.
Well, there's a
they've done them
website.
online,
There's a
yeah.
website, and you plug all your information. It makes a flyer, and you print it.
Oh, well, then
That's
there
what-
you go.
Yeah, that's why they're universal because it's the same
Oh.
thing. And then she can post the animals on Nextdoor. I mean, what she needs to do is establish a guideline for what you want to do. Your
Yeah.
protocol. Get the picture from Chris. Post information. The next step. And then provide wherever you want to post them.
And anything you
To
need to
serve.
print for the committee, or your pictures, or your reports, or scan for a PDF to put on the website, just come down here. Or send me the email with an attachment. And,
she
you know,
can do all
I can do the rest, or provide you with what you need.
And then I know that CJ's working on the website. We're still finalizing the final transition from our old platform to our new platform. And I mentioned to her on Saturday that we were going to be doing something along those lines. So just need to figure out how you want to set that up.
We just need a space so that we can post our pictures on there. If Chris, or Catherine, they've been real good about getting me pictures and so that we can get out to Nextdoor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
And if we want, if we can put up a bulletin board or something, here also, so that we can, post pictures or inside or outside, whatever.
Yeah,
you
I've got one
prefer.
here. It's pretty full, so I'll probably have to buy another cork board.
And it might
it
be
up.
beneficial. I was thinking about this, Chris. The brick wall that's outside the gate. If we had a
Like a shadow
community
box.
board or something that was
Behind glass. Like
yeah,
a
well,
shadow box.
plexiglass. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be kind
plexiglass, yeah.
of be kind of nice. That way we could post the meeting notices. We could do the lost or found pets or stuff like that. So you can get creative and see what you can come up with on how you would mount it and how you design it. And if you need, I hoard certain things just because, it just seems wasteful not to. But I have a lot of those silica packs.
What are they?
To keep everything dry.
Oh, Lord, you do?
I have a lot too. We always use them in our RV.
You never know.
Oh, I've never thought of that.
Yeah. And so the point of that is it would help keep the moisture down inside whatever we put out there
yeah.
without it fogging up or anything. So just something.
Good idea. I'm going to start saving them out of my new
Just
shoes.
save them. Just because they.
We have bags this big.
Yes.
But they're like
Really?
one solid bag.
That's why she has a humidifier.
Yeah. Put the humidity back in the air that those are taking out of the house. It's like, no wonder my skin's so dry when I go into your house. Okay, so that's so this is going to be Julie, number 5? No, hers is lost and found.
Yeah, the lost
I'm
and
sorry.
found one. And I
And
think
6.
posting stuff on the,
Oh, okay, 5 and 6.
She's 6 and 7.
Okay, so that's going to be
6 and 7, I mean,
Julie.
yeah, Julie.
and which ones did you say you were?
I can do any of these. So let's
which
Michelle
one do you
pick what
want to
she.
do?
I
Oh, okay.
none of them. Let's let Michelle pick what
Oh,
she
okay.
wants. What do you want to take on, sister?
And I think number 10 we're already getting taken care of too. With,
We're going to address that. Did you talk to Paige today?
I did. I told her they don't have it ready. But I told her we really didn't need it because
We're going to
we
just
can
authorize Ken to negotiate
Yeah.
to sign off on it. So we'll take care of number 10 on Thursday.
Oh, so we have a veterinarian that,
We're going to use Deason. We've been
yeah.
discussing with Deason.
if it comes time for a place to.
Well, by ordinance and by state code, we have to have
Well,
a
that's true,
veterinarian
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So we have to have that.
Because you can't house the animals, and if one of them gets sick and needs medical services, and you deny the animal that, you're in big violation.
Yeah.
Like you
They
pick
have
up a
to
very
go.
sick animal, you have to decide to treat it or make a decision.
And I think the
for
way
it.
our ordinance is written is that if that happens, that we require that it be seen by a veterinarian. That way we're not making a
Right.
bad call.
Right.
Yeah. And I got ink on my fingers, so I probably smeared it all over my
don't
face.
see it.
what are they agreeing to do?
It's just, they will do whatever we need them to do, but what we get is reduced pricing. We get contracted pricing, so it's cheaper than the general public coming in.
Right now, the euthanize and disposal is
A lot.
$125. I don't know how much it's going to be until they create the contract,
Right.
but my understanding is they will not hold our dogs because they're
They're not
We
vaccinated.
can't confirm that they're vaccinated
Yeah.
against rabies, and a lot of their techs don't have their rabies vaccinations.
Right,
So that's why we want to look into holding them
somewhere else.
somewhere else until that time decision is
And
made.
so a question for you then. The official hold, what if we put them in a foster, like somebody says, I'll hold it for 3 days? I mean, does that count towards that, or does this entity have to take possession?
No, you can play that a couple different ways. You can make the hold as long as you want it to be.
I know, I just know
So
it's a
there's
minimum
that.
of 3, yeah.
Right, you have to at least give it 3 days to work the lost and found
Exactly.
angle. My only concern by placing it into a foster or someone to hold the animal, they need to be aware that they're taking an animal that could possibly be sick or break with
Right,
parvo, distemper, kennel
Right.
cough,
Right.
all those things, and be able to handle an animal, because most of the dogs you're going to pick up out here, more than likely, are going to get sick and are scared to
heartworm,
death.
parvo, all those.
Right. I mean, that's my only concern. But I mean, as far as how long, that's however long the person wants to hold it.
Well, the question really was, can the city start the clock ticking if we don't have physical possession, but we have a volunteer who's housing it in that
That's
interim?
if it's not on city property and you're not but if you're taking responsibility for that dog while if something happens to that foster, it's a lot of gray area.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we really need to get moving on some kind
They,
of kennel facility.
Austin and some other cities have foster care programs, and they have like a manual.
You have
Well,
to go
for
through
sure,
training.
but-
You have to-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty strict.
But those
You
dogs
apply to
don't
be a
go
foster
into
parent.
foster without being vetted,
Vetted,
being
yeah. You have to pay for
vaccinated.
them to get
Exactly.
vetted.
And they go to
first.
you have to go to a meeting and you have to learn about the quarantine and how to handle them. They have an endless list of resources for the foster.
So I wonder, by working with Decent on this, when we take an animal in, with the expectation that it's going to have the vet, it's going to be seen, they're going to vaccinate it, and then they're going to hold it. And I wonder if that would be acceptable.
You can ask them to put that into the contract. Like if you pick up a dog, like Michelle's holding 2 dogs right now, very adoptable, no reason to euthanize
3.
them. Very super cute. So say you send them and you get them vetted, it'll be easier for me to
To
work on
adopt
a
them.
placement
Yes.
through a rescue because
Those things are
I've got
taken
a
care
rescue that'll take her 2 dogs
Yeah.
right tomorrow, but she needs them vetted first
of. Got it.
because they're super cute. Now, the ones that like that black scared one and that red pitty female, those take me a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But
Do you still have them?
I didn't pull them out. I don't
Okay.
have them.
I think when we paid for euthanization, they said that they were taking that fee to spay and neuter 'em. That they
Oh,
were
okay.
going to
Good.
try to
Right.
find the red pit and the black one. Yeah, that they were going to try the ones that were picked up
Yeah.
near your home. I asked if they had already euthanized them. She said no,
They'll try.
We're
But they had
trying
the
to
room
find
hold
an
'em.
adoption.
I mean, they had room
If
to
they
hold
have
'em.
room to
Yeah.
hold
See,
them.
For
and I don't
sure.
know.
And so that is
decent
if decent. If you can work something out. So say you want to save an animal from the city and you want me to find a place for it and work on placement for it. Is this what the city is willing to provide for that animal through the contract at Decent? Say Michelle can run it over there.
Well, that's what I'm
I can
thinking.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
and then
would-
it goes
that
back
would
to
be
what's
much
the city
more-
willing to pay
Exactly.
for so many animals to get vetted and
Well, so
to get them into our system.
here's kind of how I approach the whole thing. The way we're doing it today, if we are working strictly on the minimum requirements, the 3-day hold, and then it's over. It's $200 per dog. That's about what on average, what it's costing us. That is the facility, the holding for
Boarding.
3 days. That is the vet
Exam
visit.
fee.
That is, the exam fee. That is the euthanization and the disposal. So at $200 a dog, just use that as a baseline. So that's what we're paying now. Anything that we save is good. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So if we get good pricing
They
through the
should pay you a
vet,
good deal at Decent because I can get a dog spayed at Deason through Wilson County for $100. Like my friend Brandy, she works there, and that's how. If I need to get how to
Right.
get her dog fixed. Whenever Deason has interns, the interns we get a reduced rate. That's probably the part of the contract that.
But I don't think the city's willing to go that far to pay for spay and neuter, are we? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, some cities pay for it, some don't.
It
I mean,
depends
just-
on the, see, that's a whole nother discussion. We got to talk about the adoption program. So if we're going to do that, now you have a fee that you're going to, charge for the animal, and that's going to include the vetting, the spay neuter,
Microchip.
all that stuff, yeah.
Most
And
of the
I will tell
times-
you right now, if we go the adoption route, I think our ordinance already talks about that those 3 things are required.
Yeah.
We're not,
Oh, yeah,
we're
you
not
can't
going to
adopt out an
yeah, you
unvetted animal.
can't.
Let 'em loose
Exactly.
again.
You should
Starts all over
talk
again.
to them at Bear County at Kirby and see what they would do for you.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because, like I said, she is a vet. Dr. Baston's a vet there, and if you can get them to offer you anything there, I don't know if she would.
I don't know, but it's certainly
But it just doesn't hurt to
bother me
ask.
Exactly.
all they
So
can do is
yeah,
say no.
I mean, let's leverage with Bear County where we can because you get better.
And she moves them out. I mean, she moves them.
Okay.
That's what she
Yeah,
does.
because if we go that route and decide to adopt them, then what are we paying for is,
Well, if you try to
Holding
adopt
them.
out the animals, that's a whole other realm of volunteers. That's a whole
It
other
is.
realm of problems.
Right.
But if you can get on board with the city, with Sandy Oaks willing to provide X, Y, and Z vetting, and then you work out an agreement with Kirby, and I'll I would have to do, or Michelle, or Julie, or anybody that is willing to hold on to a dog for 2 weeks until transport comes up, that saves you a whole lot of grief.
It does.
Versus trying to adopt out. I don't want to adopt out an animal to anybody that lives here.
yeah, it's just going to
No.
go back on the
You know,
street. It's just going to be
exactly.
an unneutered or a neutered or spayed dog, but
Yeah.
Running loose.
Yeah.
So, and that's a huge. Then you got to set up adoption events. You got to get
Exactly.
people to run it, and then you got to get supplies.
Exactly.
So if that's something, if whatever the city council or whatever y'all could work out is an incentive for Bear County, I'm sure Emily would listen to it.
Okay. Well, when we meet with JC and Christy and
Well,
if
we
I
were
need to-
paying Selma to take them and, paying for room and board.
yeah, but we weren't doing it for 2 weeks until we found either an adoption
Exactly.
to come. That's what I'm thinking. Are you envisioning then the dog goes in, gets spayed, neutered, vetted, all of that, and then goes out of the facility into another facility for adoption, like your backyard or
or
a holder?
or the rescue organizations that they're working with.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I could get them like
Right.
we could
And
work
then-
out
And
some
it would
kind of
just be a
transport.
transport schedule that we would have to deal with.
Okay, not
And so,
another
again,
boarding
if we
fee.
had a facility that was
Oh.
adequate enough, that had dog runs and everything, we could do that.
Hold them ourselves until.
And so I like to look at things from the perspective of it's a one-time cost to do this, that we get to use that resource over and over and over and over
Right,
again.
and it's easier to fundraise than do an adoption event.
Mm-hmm.
Like to come up, like we could fundraise for the transport or
Mm.
things like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
way easier than me trying to convince. I could beg anybody for money, but I can't beg anybody to take this dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'd be willing to hand you the money then.
Oh,
It's like, here,
yeah.
you take the money, do not give me a dog
Don't-
back.
I don't want a dog.
I can get that all day long. I just can't get them
Yeah,
to
I
take the
can, I
dog.
can see that happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are we on this? On the foster and adoption program? Is that what we were talking about?
That's what we
Yes.
were talking about.
Do we want to,
Does
are we
anybody?
tabling that or?
Well, it
I don't
sounds
know
like
that
it.
we're there. I don't know that we're there yet.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
Yeah.
think so either.
So let's pull this one for now. Well, I'm sorry, Doug. This is your meeting.
Well, no, it sounds like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We need more information.
we don't have to
that.
take any action on it. It just
No.
says it's just there.
Discuss it.
Yeah,
We can discuss it later.
because I'm sure that that's going to be something that people are going to want to do in the future. Okay.
Did we talk about a containment facility or
We haven't talked. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
But
okay.
where are we with spay and neuter
Yeah,
program?
that's the next one. 8.
So who here has
Did anybody-
connections and that can help us with that.
Who,
I mean, I
oh,
would-
you know
was
what, was it
Luann.
Luann?
It was
Yeah,
Luann.
last time she said that.
She talked about it a
But
lot.
she was talking about the Humane Society bringing their van out.
But it has to
They're
be
not
on,
right. It has to. They're not going to come out here. It has to be in San Antonio.
which is right there on Lamb Road. I mean, there's San Antonio property right on Lamb Road.
Right.
If we
But
can-
they're not super helpful.
Yeah.
They're really not very difficult to obtain their services. But I do know I sent you that one, Dr. Lawler at Snap.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I can reach out and get some more information on that if you'd like. It's kind of expensive,
Yeah.
but if we can see
Well,
what
again,
can work out.
we're not gonna, for the person who owns a dog, wants to be
Right.
a responsible pet owner, they're paying for it.
Right.
What we're gonna do is kind of like what I think Decent is doing now. You know, they don't want to euthanize it because they think it's adoptable, so they spay it instead. You know, which is fine. We could do a similar type thing. I wanted to ask you, because you work at a vet, I spent a great deal of time a few years back trying to get this program going, and one of the things that I had thought of was reaching out to the schools, the vet tech schools, to see. I mean, in my mind, this is a great opportunity for somebody who needs the experience, comes out of school, wants to, go be gung-ho about getting all this done. And I could not find anybody.
Wow.
It was hard to find anybody. And they have a school here. Of course, A&M has one there as well. Do you know anybody that is interested in getting started?
Not yet. You're
Or
going to be
where we
hard
could
pressed
go?
for that. I mean, I could maybe drum up some volunteers that
Yeah.
are already vet techs that can help with any kind of whatever we set
Well,
up.
and I
But
know
as far
I appreciate the volunteer aspect, but we have money to do those things, so I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to exhaust or overwhelm volunteers when
Sure.
we can do some funding.
Sure.
We probably can't pay a full salary or anything, but we could certainly
A
help out.
part-time.
Yeah, we could help out on an as-needed
And
basis.
what were
or
you
something.
looking for them to do?
Well, to be able to do the rabies vaccines, and
Only a doctor can do that.
only a doctor can do that.
Not
Okay.
even a vet tech.
Not even a
Just,
vet tech.
just the
Nope.
vet himself, herself.
Okay. What about a traveling vet?
There are traveling vets
Mm-hmm.
like Traveling Tales,
Oh, I've
Wellness
never heard
on
of that.
Wheels.
Wellness on Wheels.
Yeah.
I could probably. come
What'd
up
you
with
call
a
it? Traveling
Traveling
Trails?
Tales.
All these neat names.
The one that used to come out here,
Wellness on
what
Wheels.
happened to them?
It was a couple, Jennifer and Artie, and they were here every 3 weeks and loved to come out here and everything, but they were from North Carolina and they got an offer that they couldn't turn down, and they moved back to North Carolina. So I reached out to the outfit that's down in the valley. Is it Del Rio or is it Brownsville? I don't remember, and told them that we wanted to do that again, and they gave me a thumbs up. And then I didn't hear from them for a while, so I reached out to
So-
them again.
Were they the only Wellness on Wheels in San
That's the
Antonio?
only one that I found, but I came across another one at a stoplight one day.
There's a bunch of them. They go
Yeah,
set up at feed stores
Yeah, I have-
and
I
Pets.
put one there.
So if
all
you
the
know
feed
one,
stores.
let's find somebody.
Mobile Pet Care is another. Dr. Penny
Oh, that's
at Lock Hill. He sets up at Lock Hill.
and they set up on the south side too.
No,
But would they come as
But would they
far as
come here?
here?
See, they've got a very
he comes to Pleasanton.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, well,
then come here.
they can
sits
stop here.
better, sits good.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
one that
and
goes
which
to
one was that?
Floresville too.
Yeah,
well, there-
yeah. There's one that sets up at the.
Mobile pet
At
care?
Tractor
I don't know
Supply.
if it's Mobile
Tractor
Pet
Supply,
Care,
yeah.
but there is somebody that sets up at that Tractor Supply right there.
In Floresville?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's
We
not
could
that
ask
much.
one of the workers in Floresville what the name of it
You can just
is.
look on the website. It'll tell you at Tractor Supply what day the vet comes.
Oh, okay.
So, but we want them to come here, is what we want.
Yeah, but I mean, that way you
We'll
can reach
find
out
out
to
who it
them,
is,
find
yeah.
out who it is, reach out to
Okay.
them.
Because they used
Well,
to
is
come to
that's
Donna
not that
Dave's.
far away. I mean, it's.
Well,
Yeah, but it's more convenient for
it's
them.
more convenient here, and that's really what we're trying to do, or at least what I'm
Provide the
trying-
convenience for
Provide
the
the convenience to encourage participation.
Especially
you
for
know?
people that need to carpool to the,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
mobile clinic. They used to be at Dawn and Dave's, right?
They did it at Don, and we were doing it here in the park, but that kind of became a little difficult to do just because of the location. A lot of people didn't even know how to get here. And so then Javier, with what is now J&S Smokehouse, he let us set up out there. And then Don and Dave they let us set up over there as well. So those
And
are
now we have the
kind of-
Waterwood property.
Now we have the sauce property, so we could do it there.
I'm trying to change the name.
Okay, well, yeah, we need
It's
to
called the
change-
Waterwood property.
No, I don't want to
Just
call it
use-
the Waterwood property.
Just use the same acronym, just think of some different words to go with it.
Oh, saws. Okay, I'll think of that.
Then we can still call it saws, but
It
But
just
it means
it
something
just means
else.
something else.
Okay, so Traveling Tales, Mobile Pet Care, we're gonna check the Tractor Supply site. And I'll do this, I'm not part of the committee, but I'm
Why?
certainly willing to help out.
Yeah.
I'll track them down. Okay. And the Wellness on Wheels, they didn't do spay-neuter, but they did zootering, which,
Right.
for the males.
Right.
And there were several people who actually took advantage of that out here. But it doesn't alleviate the spay part of it.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. And so one of the things that maybe we can get through Deason is better pricing on spay-neuter. And one of the things that I had thought of, and y'all shoot it down if you want to, but the cages and the crates that we've been collecting, to have we could set it up with Deason and say, okay, once a month or every 2 weeks or something like that, we want to reserve time for X number of animals that we're going to bring in to be spayed and neutered. And we're going to have Chris transport them. So people would bring their animals to a central place here in the city.
Unless they want to take them.
Unless they want to take them themselves.
During a different.
Drop them off. Because, you have people who have jobs and, it's hard to do. I mean, even for me, it's hard to do that. But we could set it up where he would meet in the morning, he collects them, he takes them down there, and then in the afternoon pick them up and bring them back, and people can come pick them up. So that was one idea that I had. I want to make it convenient, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you're going to own
The only thing
animal,
you're going to run into with that is check if you're getting it done through the city. Is y'all are taking the liability for the
Yeah.
dog if something happens
know.
at the vet.
Or if it runs off.
Oh, at the vet? If it happens at the vet?
If you're signing that animal in under the city of Sandy Oaks and not
Then
the
we're
owner
taking-
signing,
What if the owner signs a waiver when they
They would
hand
have- you
over
would
the
have to-
dog to
Okay.
us?
Right.
That we
So
do
that's-
you'd have to
that.
come up with something
Contract.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why can't they
They
just
indem-
sign
they can
Deason's
indemnify
waiver?
us.
Deason probably has one. Why can't they just sign?
Well, because they're coming
They're
into our
going
Just
to
custody.
be there.
Yeah.
And we're giving them. They can indemnify us with a waiver.
Yeah, they could.
I would just ask Decent what they would require if you're going
Okay.
to do a transport like that for liability reasons. Because
Right.
what if he's in a car accident with someone's
Exactly.
dog?
Yeah.
What
Price
if
poodle.
I tell you, if you're in a car
I think that
accident and my
price
dog gets loose, we're gonna have a problem. And it's no price poodle. But you know what I'm saying, for liability reasons.
No, that makes sense. So see, that's good information. Okay, so we really need to wait on the spay-neuter program until we hear from Deason.
On
But
prices.
Feral Cat Coalition, yay, nay? Do we
Do you-
want to bring them in? Do we not want to bring them in? Do we want to do our own thing?
No, I mean, it's a volunteer that comes out and gives a class.
Well, her name's Jen Burgess, right?
There's a lot of different ladies.
Oh, okay,
that
because
do
Jen
it.
Burgess has come out before and talked to us.
Okay.
And at the time, we weren't really in a position to do anything, even though it was something everybody wanted to do. Now we're in a better position to do that. So,
Sure.
I'd like to bring them out. I've reached out to Jen on 2 different occasions and couldn't get in touch with her. So if you have somebody
I can
else,
reach out to the lady. Her name is Famika, who runs the community cat program at ACS. She usually comes out with the people from San Antonio Feral Cats, and I do know somebody there.
Okay.
Sherry Durdak runs.
Sherry. Yeah.
Mhm. So I can ask her if she could have some volunteers come out and give a class.
That
For
would
sure.
that would be good because I know 2 people who have over 30 cats. They're not their cats.
Whoa.
They're just feral cats that they fed one.
What road did you say
and
them on?
there you go.
colonize.
Yeah.
Well,
And so they keep calling me going, what can I do? What can I do? And I said,
Go on.
But if they take a class,
they get the free.
You get the
one.
vouchers. You get it as many vouchers as you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
And
I've
then
got
it's
5
free
in my thing
service?
right now.
And then it's a free
You
spay
just
neuter?
go. It's
$20 in it.
no, it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Wow.
So it's,
There's a
it's
coalition.
Tuesday or Thursday through Saturday. You have to be at ACS by. I would be there by like 6:45. They take only so many cats.
No reservations. at all.
No, you
It's-
get your car in line.
Yeah.
Um,
That's-
But they usually take. I mean, if you're
do they do it
there
here at the city base location?
at Brook City Base,
They do it at the Brook City?
They do, but you have more chance to get in at 151. But yes, you can do. Yes, you can do it at Brook City Base. You could do it at the Humane Society. Different locations.
What happened with Spay SA?
There's no more. It's just Snap now. They closed.
Wow.
Probably grant money ran out.
Yeah, that's what I figured was the grant money ran out.
So what do we do? We just gather feral cats
You
and
have to
take them over?
You have to take them in a trap. They have to be in a trap.
But, yeah, they can't be in a cage.
And
they,
if
they
you're-
can't
if
be
you-
in a carrier. They have to be in a trap.
In a trap. And if you take them to 151, it has to be covered. They are very big sticklers on that. Has to be covered. You just drive up.
You don't even go in the building. They don't want you to go in the building.
Nope,
they
you
want you to
just-
go around the back.
Wow.
You just drive up, hand them your voucher. They take your cat, catalog you in, tell you come back 4 o'clock.
Pick your
just-
cat up and then you just release it in the back in the wild?
You should hold it.
You should hold it at least
in
overnight.
the trap, at least.
Yeah, well,
Males
yeah.
overnight. I like to do females 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst they're gonna do is poop on you.
Poop
But
on
if you're
you, yeah.
smart, you can change the cardboard that goes in there.
Right.
Like they
Yeah.
talk about it in
Well,
the
you do
class.
just try to, I mean, if they're really feral, you just drop some food in there for them.
They're not gonna starve. They'll be fine. Yeah,
Yeah, watch
they
it.
can be mean.
Yeah.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see if somebody will come. And then, yeah. But I was thinking too, I wonder if you could get discounts at Brook City Base for spay and neuter.
Well, that's what I'm wondering as
through,
well.
like,
through
it's
Bear
a
County.
Through Bear County.
Exactly.
'Cause it's a huge discount.
It is,
Huge.
yeah.
And they provide all different kinds of services, not
So
just spay and
if
neuter.
you will get in touch with the feral cat,
I can do
I
feral
will
cats.
contact ACS at Brooks and see what we can do.
If they'll give you some kind of, if you can obtain rescue pricing.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked for it. I can't find it. I have a whole, I can get you a rescue pricing discount sheet.
Because I know,
It's way cheaper.
oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
very
there have been
affordable.
times when I'll see our zip code come up and I'll put that on next door because they're
Yeah.
taking, yeah.
Oh, I've
The
seen
grant
that.
for out here, though, whenever our zip code comes up, runs out so
I know.
fast.
Yeah.
I bet. So the class
for
consists
the
of what?
cats?
How to catch
You
a
don't know?
cat and what's
It
the
talks
class
about.
for?
It talks about. I think when she came out. Remember when she came out and
Yeah.
did that a long time ago?
She talked about how they clip their ears. And,
Yeah.
And
all
well, they
that
talk
other
about
stuff.
the importance.
Yeah,
Of
of doing it.
maintaining the colonies and you know why and how fast. I was surprised at how fast
They
one
multiply.
cat.
Yeah. More
Yeah.
often than a dog.
They say if you don't,
Oh, yeah.
if you
They
don't
can have
release
rabbits
them,
every 6 months.
if you don't release them back out, another cat just comes in and
Yeah.
takes its place.
Called
Because
and-
they're
Vacuum
territorial.
effect.
They're
they were
they're
talking about-
territorial.
Yeah. they were
And
talking about that.
and
Yeah, they
how
cover the
and they
whole
want
thing.
and they want you to know, like, don't open your front door and feed them because you they're feral, so they need to hunt, but you can supplement their food, but you got to take it to them.
Oh, is that what I
Yes.
did with RJ?
You screwed up.
Oh.
That's
He
a
showed
house
up
cat.
and then I'm like, no, he's not. I've never touched him. He will not come to me, but he gets fed twice a day.
We have a cat
on my
like that,
front
too.
porch. I didn't know I wasn't supposed. But his ears clipped. He just showed up and I'm like, what's wrong with your ear? And I was like, oh, you've been neutered.
So when they clip their ear, because I know why they do it. I know it's the universal sign that they have been spayed or neutered. Somebody told me that the left ear means male and the right ear means female, and I said I don't think that's the case. I think it's just an ear.
Yeah.
Well, I had suggested that they should do an ear per, a different
just an
ear
ear.
per.
It's just an ear. Okay.
So then, how do I know if RJ's a boy or girl? I mean, he's big. I think he's a
well,
boy.
if he's neutered, do you care?
Yeah, he's got a name. I mean, I don't want to call Billy Betty when
Well,
he's
RJ
Billy.
can mean anything.
I don't think
then.
he
It
knows.
is.
It's
He doesn't really care as long as you
You better
keep
just
eating.
say
Yeah, I
a
guess so.
unisex name.
They're like, oh my God,
A
you're
cat's
getting
not going to
fat.
come when you call it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. That's, yeah, he just runs when I call him. And
Oh,
then
mine only comes when you open the door because it knows it's going to be fed. So
yeah.
Okay.
that's when it comes.
I can do that.
All right. So if you'll follow up with feral cat, I will call ACS.
Okay.
Okay, making progress here.
So, and we've done the veterinarian thing. Okay, so then, well, number 11, we're all the way to number 11.
We
then.
did skip 3. I don't know if we want
We
to do
did,
anything
the-
about that.
Well, we
In
kind of
education.
touched on it with postcards and stuff.
Yeah, I
okay.
mentioned that before the
Yeah.
meeting started, that as I was doing some research to kind of figure out how do we do this, do it right, the tour was one of the things. Another was educational materials, marketing materials, basically, that you're mailing out. So right now, we do a quarterly newsletter, which is going in the mail, just so you know, you'll be getting one soon. But we could do a postcard type mailer. It'd be very inexpensive to do, and we could touch on whatever subjects y'all think are important. Don't forget it's flea and tick season, or the importance
Did you
of
know?
yeah, did you know, or use it for the educational type stuff that you guys think is important, and then the city would just do the mail out. We'll do the graphics and the mail out, and set it up on some regular schedule. I mean, that's one item. We did talk about the Feral Cat Coalition, so that'd be another education opportunity. Whatever else you guys think is needed.
Chris, you need to calm
Well,
down
people
with
are
the
going to need
talking.
to know how to find their pet, if it's
That's true,
gone
too.
too, so.
Yeah.
you know,
And
who to-
especially
who
if
to
we're going to do the
contact and
microchip stuff,
yeah.
that would be a great education thing, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
That and giving them information if, when the animals are being picked up, for
Where to go.
Where-
to,
exactly.
Who to
And right now,
call.
people don't even, except for some of the comments or us putting it out on Nextdoor, don't have any idea that
Right.
we are picking up, animals are
Right.
being picked up or they are going to be.
Yeah.
This is what you need to know if your animal is picked up.
That's true. So who
How
to
much
call?
time,
Yeah,
all of that so that people know.
yeah.
And just so everyone knows right now, we're not actively picking up any dogs, just, we're just being reactive based on phone calls.
Yeah.
We're just not
And-
there yet to.
And some cities even have posted on their website the cost of everything too.
That's true. We
The,
could
the,
do that as
the
well.
cost for, if you come pick up your dog, it's gonna cost you this much for, we've had it 3 days, it costs this much, and
So
Yeah,
yeah, we
just
can.
laying all of that out for
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
to know.
Exactly.
Because for so long,
We haven't had any of that.
Exactly. And so to,
Yeah, if they know that if they know they're gonna have to pay out of pocket if they want their dog
Yeah.
back, they might start keeping better track of their dog.
Well, and as I
or not
was
come get it.
contemplating last
Exactly.
year how we were going to do all this, I would tell people that I want to take kind of a carrot and a stick approach. If you want to be responsible, I'll help you be responsible. I'll make it, we'll subsidize a little here, we'll make it affordable for you, because that's the goal. I mean,
You have to
you
because
have to.
clearly no one has ever given them that because
Right.
look at the care the animals are receiving it here.
Yeah,
So you have to give them an incentive to want to be a part of the program.
exactly. And the other side of that is, for those who don't and won't, it's a harder, deeper in the pocket. Because if you really want your animal back, you're going to get it back, but you're going to have to do this, and there's this fee, and you got to do, and all this has to be satisfied before you get your animal back. So
Sure.
that's
you
kind of
can't
how
just
I
go
want.
into ACS and say that's my dog.
No,
No.
you gotta
No.
pay for all those services they
Exactly.
render.
A couple zeros added onto that.
Exactly.
And all, that price list is gonna be based on the contract with whatever vet we
Right,
go to as well.
right.
And some of the things that we do to incentives is going to be cheaper than having to pick up the dog and haul it off. So
Exactly.
We might
That's
save-
kind of what I'm
We
thinking.
might save a little bit of money.
It's going to be expensive for the beginning, but in the long run,
I agree.
once you whittle through all the dogs, it won't be that expensive.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping
once we
can
get-
through there.
Yeah.
Once we get most of the strays off the road, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to take that on as far as the educational piece to kind of fit in, because it'll all be the stuff that's going to go on the website, and who to call, all
you
those
wanna help her with
procedures
that?
and
I say I
everything.
don't have nothing to do.
Or Michelle.
Michelle, can I help you with that?
Here, let me move.
Yeah, you do it then. We'll put you as lead then on that one, Michelle.
Wait, which one?
And we're writing it
On the
on.
Three.
education,
Okay.
number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Y'all can coordinate with that.
Yeah, we'll do Michelle and with Julie. Coordinate with Julie.
Because it's kind of going to be the same. If we're going to put stuff on the website, it's going to kind of be
And the postcards you were saying could be like an ongoing thing, like a quarterly
It
thing
could,
of
I mean-
did you know this, or we've got
Yeah.
this going on, or,
Right.
you know,
Right, we need to
the
have
first.
events.
We do need
like
to have events.
A little gathering.
Well, I've always wanted to do a bark in the park.
Yeah.
like a pet pantry.
Oh, that would
where,
be.
you know, we can hand out dog food. Or what help do you need with your pet? Do you need horse food? Do you need dog food?
Don't even
I'm
go
already-
there.
Donkey food.
No,
I already
no
rescued a
goat
donkey and a
food, no
horse.
pig food.
Farm
food is
animals
cheap.
will be leaving soon. They
Yeah.
are on my radar
If you
screen.
provide them horse food, then they're gonna think
They
they
will
can have a
stay.
horse. We're not finished, we
Well, I'm
got
not paying for
number,
horse food,
There's
sorry.
a lot of
Oh, I thought you were
pigs
putting
in
things
the,
up.
in the city too.
There is.
there's a lot of what?
A lot of what?
Pigs.
I know.
A lot of pigs.
Goats too, quite a few
I haven't
goats.
seen the goats, but I've seen
Yeah.
the
I
pigs.
think I
goats.
see more goats than I do pigs, especially on Waterwood Pass. They're probably good I mean, probably rather see a goat in a well-maintained yard because the goat ate up all the grass.
Exactly.
But we gotta
The
get
lady
there
with
first.
the blue bonnets, she put her goat somewhere else. 'Cause I'm sure she's
Hey,
not
but
going
in
to
the
meet
end, she needs to let
she needs to let him
them,
come back.
and then they'll,
Oh, the one on Waterwood Pass?
Poop 'em
She has
out.
a goat?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Never seen it.
I think she used to have two at one time.
I don't know. I've just seen the
Then
one.
there was someone else that has two.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
They don't need rabies
greenhouse.
shots, so I guess.
So
Do
the
they?
trashy one on Waterwood?
You don't have to vaccinate the
Lots.
Okay.
goats now.
Has a lot of,
Or pigs.
lot of vegetation.
Oh,
For some reason, they don't.
Only thing horses and donkeys need are their coggins
Yeah.
and their hooves.
I just have
They need to
no,
be fed, they need to be taken
no horses.
care of.
Not interested.
Right.
I'm not interested in
afraid.
watching them suffer. I love
I-
horse. I mean,
I do too. I just hate the way people treat these lots aren't big enough for a horse. And they put them in these little bitty tiny pens and
they're having to lay in their own
urine
stuff
and everything. And it's just,
stand in there
it's
constantly.
unsanitary and unsafe for the animal.
Yeah, there's other places meant for
Okay,
horses.
the next one is number 11. It's the last one. Discuss and/or possible action on a containment facility.
So do you want me to talk about what Chris and I have looked into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things we looked into, Chris went down to the
I think it's.
former Saw's property,
Yeah, right here.
Former South Park.
for lack of a better name.
Just think of different words.
Yeah,
So
and there's a few buildings
We're gonna
that are
call it
metal.
Dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs'
The dogs' property. There's some buildings, so I looked into just putting in, the kennels inside the buildings, but then we realized, well, no, now we're gonna have to put French drains and insulate the building, and then we need running water, and that's probably got electricity, but then we're gonna need probably air conditioning, and we're gonna need windows cut out, and blah, blah, blah. And then we're gonna need an outside running area too, individually. So then we looked at this one place called
Horizon structures.
Horizon Structures. And they have buildings that, they're really nice too, and they've already got, you can get them that are already.
They're
have the,
prefabricated.
Right.
They already have.
Are you
the-
familiar with them?
Oh, you are? Good. They already have the, electricity in them, if you want them that way. They've got the groove in the middle to drain out. Can't remember what they call it, a drain? Floor drain. And what else, Chris? AC?
Has
Like-
AC, insulation, the drains.
Here's
Has
what,
like a tub for a sink. Like
Oh,
really
yeah.
big. You need a sink.
Yeah, you have to have a sink.
Yeah.
It has vents. It has windows. It has AC unit.
Cathedral ceilings, exterior
um,
dog rooms.
Yeah, so dogs come in and out as they please. And then
So
you
that's
can just open up the gates.
What
on
it
the
looks like,
outside.
one of them,
And then you
outside.
can put a fence like on the outside.
On the outside,
Just let them go. And if they don't get along, you just put it back in the cage or whatever.
right.
So
And I'm not sure about that one. I know another one we looked at, you could lift
Oh, I
up.
like
the-
that one.
That was nice, and that's one of the ones we're looking at. Now, the price.
This is a 6 unit? One, two,
Yeah,
three,
that's a
four, five,
6.
6.
The prices that we're gonna be talking about Thursday, unfortunately, and we didn't mean for him to, he included us prices with, a lobby, which we don't need. But
We
then
don't
Chris
need
and
a
I got to thinking that the lobby doesn't have to be a lobby. I mean, we need
We-
room for food and stuff,
Yeah,
because the food's gotta be,
yeah.
you know, dry and everything, so.
And
um,
is it part of the temperature controlled
Yeah,
environment?
yeah, all of
Okay.
it. And I don't know if so looking at the
Right?
drawing right here. So this is the lobby, and these are the kennels, and then this is a feed walk.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't see that they had a door here in case a dog got out.
Yeah.
But we
'Cause
could
boy,
always
they have
put,
field day on the food.
we could always put something up.
Right.
But, and this one holds 4. There's no, is that a 4? Yeah, that was a 4. I thought he gave us one for 6 as well. I might have put these in the wrong order.
And
Oh, that
so
was another
the
page.
number, the 4 unit with the lobby, what was the purchase price on that?
And again, this, with the lobby,
With the lobby.
and with the air conditioning. So the base price was 25,500.
Oh,
With the add-ons, which are needed, like the the electricity and the AC and stuff, was 27,820.
27,820?
Yes.
And that's for a 4 unit?
That's the 4. If you go up to a 6, the base price is 33,500. And that's with a
the
lobby,
6.
which, if we don't need, I think he was supposed to get you another quote without the lobby. And it was going to be the 12 by 22, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because this one's 12, the one that's the 6 with all the upgrades is 36,390.
But that's for
And it looks like,
6 of them.
that's for 6, inside and out, and it looks like that.
Okay.
So the same, just more kennels.
So Chris, I know that up there on the lot is a pad that can be used today. I mean, there's nothing on it, so we have that available. And that one was 16 by 16. The 4 by is, what are the dimensions?
Oh, it has it right here. It's 12,
12 by 24.
yeah, 12 by 24.
So we're
So we
off a
figured
little
if you,
bit.
yeah, I mean, they're
And
gonna
that's
be
for the
like 4 by
4.
4s.
That's the 4.
The kennel part of it, I think, is 4 by 4. So you're only gonna get 3 of them on that 12 or 16 by 16 pad, right? Is that what I figured? 4 times 3 is
Where's my
12.
budget?
You might get 4 of them on there.
So,
That's the one?
12 by 24.
Without
sure
the,
nobody has any idea, but
I'm
is
with the
it
feed
any
room.
cheaper
How
to
much?
do renovations and whatever would be needed
Well,
on the existing building? Would
That's a
that be
good
cheaper
question.
than going that route?
It could be, and Chris and Gus, the 2 that work in our public works, are very skilled. I mean, they could build us something if we needed, but we've got to meet the state guidelines.
Right.
Is
Right.
one of the issues.
But
I mean,
just
that
Curious.
is
The
really
buildings there
cool.
are-
you
It
know?
is,
It is,
are
but it's
10.
also very pricey, and I think we can probably do it cheaper.
it'll take longer.
It'll take a little longer. And whether it be cinder block, and the advantage is, for me, when I think cinder block, is you get some insulation factor in there. It's durable. It's going to last a long time. So that's just, unfortunately, it's heavy to work with, but that's just kind of what I was thinking. Okay, so here, animal control, hold on just a minute.
And he did get a quote for the 6 kennel without a lobby, for almost 31,000.
Okay.
That's without the lobby. And it
And-
still has a run in it.
And the
A
thing
locker.
about that configuration is it comes turnkey.
Turnkey. If
We
you've
can
got the
use it as soon as they
slab,
drop
Right.
it off.
Right.
Yeah,
if you have electricity to it.
yeah.
And and there's a thing in there too, a note that says if your pad's not ready when they come to drop it off, they will refund you the setup fee.
Oh.
So they're not just gonna leave, I mean, they'll leave it if you're not ready for it, and you'll just have to figure out how to put it there when you're ready for it. But there is a caveat on there that they will refund you that fee
Okay.
if you're not ready for it. So that's
So
nice.
in looking at our budget for, we have 2 separate line items in the budget. One is containment and facilities. We have $15,000 set aside for that. So either one of these configurations is outside of that. However, we also have another, let's say 13,000 in equipment and supplies. So we're gonna do a budget amendment at the next meeting. We can shift money around if we need to. We just need to figure out what the better solution is. And honestly, I don't think at our Thursday meeting, we're in a position to make any decisions other than pretty much what we're discussing here. But from your experience, what do you think works? What would allow us to get going faster? Is it something we build ourselves? Retrofitting one of the buildings up there?
Well, those buildings, I think, are just corrugated tin, aren't they?
They can
Well,
be
they are,
insulated.
but they can be insulated. They have a foam insulation that they spray on them.
And see, this other place called Canine Kennel Store, this is the one that is for a pre-existing building. So it would basically look like that.
Oh, okay.
So we could insulate
Inside.
inside, and then again we would have to
Put
cut the
doggy
holes
doors.
for the
doggy doors.
guillotine doors, and then air conditioning. They may
Well-
already have electricity.
I was going to say the air conditioner, I noticed at the federal surplus, we can get, I think they had 3-ton units for $300. So, I mean, we have options to buy
That's
surplus
not bad.
equipment
I
and
forgot about
stuff.
that. I liked these because there's another, on the door is a lever that you use, and when you pull it down, the guillotine door goes up, so you never have to go near the dogs, and then you can
Oh.
just release it and it goes back down.
Very
So then it's
cool.
still inside, outside.
And I
And
see
they've
that
got
they
the
have
dog-
food and water, but
Yes.
they don't have, they have a hard floor to sleep on?
You probably have to buy the cots,
Oh.
the raised, or blankets or whatever. That
They
was
have to
probably
be up
just
off
for
the gr- If
picture.
you're gonna have a facility, the dogs have to be up off the ground.
Yeah, I think
That's
this
what I was
was,
thinking.
these dogs were just placed in there for picture
For
taking
pictures,
purposes.
yeah.
But all of the doors also have those bowls that you can swing them around, fill them up, and swing
Yeah,
them back
the
in.
food doesn't have to be up off the floor, but the water and the dog has to be up off the floor.
Okay.
And that one, so let's see, if we want to hold, I only pulled prices for 4, that was before
Yeah.
you and I talked about it, which would be 4x4 inside, and the run outside would be 4x6. Just about 17,500
For 4 of them?
for the 4 run. I never did pull.
17.5?
17,500. 17,535.
See, now that's very doable, assuming that we could retrofit.
Oh, wait, no,
One of the
no, I
buildings
take
up
it
there.
back. I'm looking at an actual kennel. I'm sorry,
Oh.
that's one of these. Never mind.
That's 17.5?
Well, it doesn't have the lobby. It's
We don't, we
Yeah.
don't,
It's-
we don't need a lobby. I mean,
It's
we,
just a place to store dogs is what that is.
Yes.
It's not a
he
building that
gave
you
us
can
a
work.
quote for-
Like you would have to
for-
have
exactly,
separate.
yeah.
Look at that, 10 by
And
16
we'll have
kennel.
to take y'all up to the front, to the property, and just kind of give you an idea of what's up there, and then y'all may better know
We
whether
might
something
wanna
like that
look
may work. Because there are 2 separate buildings, one of them's bigger than the other.
Hmm.
We also have another concrete pad that has some tanks on it, and we're looking to get rid of those. And
So there's no way for me to.
the engineer wanted to remove some of the concrete
Oh, you were
pads, and I'm
thinking
like,
so.
no,
Yeah,
what, I
there's no way
mean,
to do
concrete's
that.
expensive.
Yeah, that's
You know?
super handy to have
They
around.
are handy to have around,
Yeah.
so we're gonna leave all the concrete in place.
It's just for something like this, there's no feed aisle for
Uh-huh.
him. I guess he would have to feed him from
Everything's
the
done outside.
outside.
Yeah,
So then I'm trying to picture what the front of their kennel would look like,
right.
because, I mean, they
I think
do,
y'all have a better idea once you go and look and see how Kirby's set up, because that's more along the lines of something that's achievable here.
Okay,
I
that's what
I
I,
feel like it'd probably be easier to go with something versus purchasing a large building. Just remember, the bigger you go, the more animals you can hold, and the more opportunity and space for people to dump their animals on you.
exactly.
So if you stay small and you have a small, this is what I have, it's not super easy to get to, it's not super fancy, people aren't going to feel comfortable, they're going to be like,
Right.
I mean, you want it to be, of course, up to par and follow
Exactly.
the guidelines, but you don't want the containment facility to look like better than most people's houses.
This is true.
So then,
And that's
so
not
they're gonna
hard
be
out
like,
here for
oh,
some of the stuff I saw this week.
Yeah.
so that would be the bigger
Okay.
you go, the more.
So, really, Doug, this item, I don't think we're ready yet. I think let's do the tour. We can present these options. We're not making a decision on this on Thursday. We're just
Yeah.
discussing, kind of sharing information and what we're finding. We can talk about doing the tour. And we can come back with recommendations after that. In the meantime, we're working with a couple of people who are interested in salvage value of some of the tanks that are up there. So they would basically come in and take them down and haul them off for free, and they get the salvage value of it. It doesn't cost the city anything.
And that frees up our
If I
concrete
can,
slab.
that we have the stainless steel tanks that are in that one building. Is he still showing an interest in submitting a bid?
He talked to Ken this morning, and
good.
Ken told him to mail us I don't know why he couldn't have emailed it, a
Right.
bid.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have sped things up.
So we have 700-gallon stainless steel tanks that are in one of the buildings up there. And I know they have to have some residual value to them.
Sure.
So anything that I can sell off, we can reinvest in programs like this. So it just add more money to the budget for that. So this will be the bigger project that we'll work on. But I think we got enough on the other side of things that we need to work on and get coordinated.
So then, just so Chris and I know, until further notice, we're not actively picking up any dogs.
The only caveat to that is if it's a dangerous animal. I mean, it's threatening somebody, it's injured somebody, we have to. I don't want to
Yeah.
push anybody off.
No, I just mean we're not going
not going
around
out looking, no.
yeah,
'Cause-
just a reactive basis.
Yeah,
People call us and
reactive,
say
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Then we take them, I guess, until further notice, we have to take them to Oak Hills.
If they will let us take them there. I think, this is what I think is
Oak Hills
happening.
will not let us, they're just charging us like they would.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's
They
civilian.
kind of have taken the approach of price it like you don't want it. It's an old trick.
To encourage you not to do it.
To encourage you not to do
But
it, and we
right now,
just
they're
keep
the only
paying them.
choice. So will Deason's take the dogs if they're allowed to vaccinate them?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
that's
see,
the
that's what I'm
holdup
saying.
with
But it's gonna I mean,
Deason's.
you have to do an exam. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
And when you're dealing with decent, if they're going to board a dog for you, you have to pay for the dog flu vaccine. Just FYI.
Well, even if you go to get your animal spayed at Brooks, same thing.
You don't have to have the dog flu at Brooks.
The dog flu.
The dog
Oh, the
flu.
dog flu. I thought you said fleas.
No,
The flea treatment. If they
It's,
find one flea, you pay the fee for the
Oh, wow,
treatment.
For the
yeah.
treatment, that's good. though.
You talking about the kennel cough thing?
no, it's a vaccine
Canine
for the
flu?
dog flu. Decent requires it for boarding.
Never heard of it.
I wonder how much it is, too.
$20.
And
I know.
ideally, what I'd
I can,
like
like to be
I can tell you.
euthanized.
Would you like me to tell you?
well, what I'd like to do
I didn't know there was such thing as a dog flu.
use Deason for the exam
Got all wet.
and the
I'm sure I have it. It's
vaccinations
not on this one. This is
before
for-
we even bring them back.
Who are we bringing them back to?
Well, assuming we have a place to put them.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about the
Right now.
immediate,
Yeah.
right now.
We'll just work with Oak Hills for now
Yeah.
until we can get something set up with,
Because I think their exam fee's $45. I don't know if that's a cut price or if that's standard.
At decent?
The-
That's their standard.
That's a
price.
standard. And then they charge us like, I think, $85 to euthanize. And I don't think they charge us anything to take care of the bodies.
we
I don't know.
have,
Maybe that's
Lynette
included
mentioned
in
to
it.
me the other evening about euthanization. That is something that a vet does not have to do.
Yeah,
So
he
that,
could take the class if he felt comfortable doing it.
Yeah,
He could
but
take the class. But
boy,
you know what? They're not charging us
I'll
to
do
take.
it. I'll take the class to do it, but I will not euthanize a healthy animal.
okay. And see, and
I'll
that's,
euthanize a suffering animal
that's exactly what
without
I was
reserve.
thinking.
Yeah.
But do not
Yeah.
ask me to euthanize a healthy animal just because you can't find a place for it.
Right.
Yeah.
That decision's not going to be in my hands.
Yeah.
But you can call me at midnight to euthanize a dog that got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
That's suffering that I can't do anything for.
What is the, what's the fee for that?
To euthanize?
No, the class.
Oh, I don't know, I'd have to look it up.
Find out what that is.
Yeah.
And when and where, because it's probably similar to, I mean, it's probably the same thing you did, it's just another one of the offers that they have.
It is.
And I'm not taking it away from you. If you want to do it, it's just.
When we talked about it last time,
I'm
he
just-
was like,
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
later he said he would do it.
well, it's a hard
but
call
again,
too.
I
'Cause
guess-
you have to
It
put that in
is.
someone's hands who can assess if you
Exactly.
can do anything for the dog or not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
There's the dog.
So it's a hard.
It is a hard
It's a
thing.
hard thing to do, but I will gladly do it.
And I want to say that Oak Hills hasn't charged us a disposal fee because they've not yet
They've not
euthanized.
disposed of
Yeah,
anything.
they've just charged us
Just
the
use the money
euthanasia.
towards
A
spay
spay, and they're
expenses.
fine, yeah.
Yeah,
And
which
I'm
is
okay-
fine.
and
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
exactly. If they're
Nothing's
saving,
free.
No,
No.
it's not. And I
We
mean,
just-
we're not looking for anything for free. We're
we
just
just
looking
thought we'd get a
for
cut price.
where we
Sure.
can get the services that we need to get the problem under
I'm
control.
surprised that a private vet hasn't just opened up a shelter on their own, just in Bear County, just to take, I mean, there's so many
The
small cities.
animal problem here is so
It's so
out
bad.
of control. It's
Especially on
like
the
if
south
you were to
side
see
of
the
town.
things that I see every day,
I couldn't do it.
This is very small in comparison to how bad it is every day.
Yeah.
So no, it's expensive. Like you can't even. Most shelters cannot even keep a vet on staff. Like SAPA. That's how I started with Dr. Ellen Jefferson, and we could not. She was the only vet, and we used ACS, and we couldn't pay a vet enough to stay.
Do you want to
Well,
adjourn before you?
So, yeah, let's go ahead and adjourn, then we can chat more.
Who moves to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
You do?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, somebody's got a second.
I second it.
7:54.
7:50.
No, I don't mean to do it for cheaper. I mean, because there's probably a lot of small cities, that would have, they would pay a vet to,
Sure, it's a lot, but it's
to do it. I'm just
It's so
surprised.
hard.
You would think somebody would try to
I mean,
make
a lot
some
of
money.
vets in town do offer huge rescue discounts. I mean, huge. Callahan Road Animal Hospital. Like if y'all were, if you had someone willing to take the animals to there,
Oh,
Anyone want coffee?
and this
before
is
we
where?
sign off?
Callahan Road
Yeah.
Animal
I
Hospital,
don't know where that is.
Callahan and 410.
Oh, okay.
Now they offer it's privately owned. It's a
Shush.
husband and wife, and you can't beat their discount. Well,
Even just to
I've
the
had
public.
issue with their vet care, however, but if you need, it's a good resource to have.
Right.
I mean, they,
So is
they
there
do
birth
they will take
control?
whatever.
Is there birth control for dogs? Like, can we put some in their food?
Put something in a hot dog and throw it out the window when you drive down the road.
That would be super awesome, but there is not.
That would really be awesome.
It would be.
Like they drop those things for.
Yeah, for rabies. Yeah, they drop the things. for
So
rabies.
once a month on Monday, we drive through the city.
Oh my god. Right.
Well, you can't do it all the time because they might get OD'd on
Throwing out birth control hot dogs or something like that. Yeah. I guess there's not enough money in it, so nobody's thought about it.
There's not money in it. I mean, you're kidding yourself if you think there's money in it. I mean, I can
The
get.
ones on
There's
Waterwood
just-
Path, did they look like anything, any
One of
kind
the challenges that I think we're going to be
One of
faced
them?
I
with
don't really want to
is,
see it if it's all.
is the drop-off issue. Not
They don't look like
from our
they-
city. I'm not as concerned about that because we'll get within our boundaries. We'll work really hard to get that addressed. But when word spreads and it
On
will
the same road, on
spread,
the same
Well, it's
road.
already bad. I mean,
you'll
we
have
just
people from other
picked up-
neighborhoods who'll be
Michelle and I
dropping
just
off.
picked up 3 dogs that was on that crazy guy's property.
Oh,
They
you
were
got
just- Oh, I got the puppies.
You did?
But no, I wanted to
I
get
got
them
the
tonight.
I got the
though.
Those
3 white
puppies
ones.
aren't on his property.
You got
They're
what?
on
The
the
3
other
white ones.
property.
Are they now?
still
I
out
drive by
there?
there
No,
every
remember
day.
they had called
Yeah.
about those? Those are the ones I
So
got.
Oh,
what
okay.
John thinks happened is maybe the mama dog did have the puppies and that Bobby sold the puppies for money and gave them to his next door neighbor. So the puppies are next door to where Bobby lives. Bobby lives in
That just happened then because
That's the one
this
with all the
weekend-
horses, right?
No, he's further down.
This way?
That
Okay.
way.
You know where the tire shop is? Okay, across the street.
Yeah, that's
There's
with
no
the
electricity
horses.
there or anything. It's
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
cars.
No, I know where Bobby's house
Not
is
at
at.
the
Yeah.
same
That's what we picked. That's where I got
But
those dogs at.
where's the which neighbor are you talking
The
about
ones that
that
got
he
the
sold
puppies.
them to?
They were there, I
thought it was the
or I
one
asked Catherine
To the,
further, closer to Lamb.
Yeah, that too.
oh, they got all the puppies that are in his
Oh, like
house?
directly
what
next door?
You need to
I thought
put
they
that
were.
on your
John
Or
Kramer
add to
sent me a
your-
message about it, and he said it was his next door
Because we
neighbor.
were there and the
When
puppies
you
were just
pick up
coming out of the damn
animals like
trailer.
that,
Like, here, puppy, puppy, puppy.
Open
the door.
How big are the white ones?
The white ones are probably, there's two of them that big. And then,
good
and
gosh.
Those are
and
puppies?
That's what I said. And they were like, oh, they're 6 weeks old. I was like, well, I'll take them.
You know
There's
where that goes?
two that big and there's
Those
another
are
one.
That is not
Those
6
are
weeks
horses.
old. Yeah, those, yeah,
big.
6 weeks old and that, no
No, they're
way.
not 6 weeks old.
No
They're-
way.
Before it got so populated out here, the coyotes took
Yeah,
care of the problem.
Well, I did propose.
Unfortunately, that's how
I did
Yeah.
propose at one time that our animal control program would be called Coyote Monday.
Oh my God.
So
Or they look like they were hit, or they look like they something else.
we pick up the dogs, we pick up the
We have to
coyotes on
keep track of
Saturday,
that.
and we don't feed them.
Yes, we do.
We turn them loose on Monday, and we pick them up on Tuesday.
That way we'll be able to.
Rinse, repeat.
She wouldn't have done that.
It was, we were throwing ideas out there.
Yeah.
Because you used to be able to hear the coyotes. I mean,
We still hear them right here back.
hear
Do you
Do
really?
you?
They come up to right there to the park.
Did you ever find Max? Nothing.
No,
and wild pigs would come in here sometimes.
I always heard the cow.
We have a lot of deer.
Really?
I don't see any deer.
I
out
never see deer.
Yeah, we do. They always go in the front yard and
Huh.
right there.
I had turkeys
Almost-
walk through my front yard
Wow.
a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of
4 turkeys walked through my front yard.
roadrunners living in my backyard. I saw them coming out of one of those oleander bushes that hasn't been cut back.
Do
They
we
just keep
have
coming in.
any ordinance about selling animals?
We do.
Selling?
Not allowed to.
Okay,
So-
because, when we've see signs or see people that are posting that they've, they're selling.
think
or
it's in
they're
your
sitting
ordinance.
What
at-
about
It is
giving
in
them
our
away?
ordinance.
At the Bolero.
You can give them away, but you cannot sell them.
I thought it
I don't
was
like
just,
either one.
And I have the wrong ordinance in here,
Well, I
but
don't like.
that part should be in
Because
there.
you don't know
This
who
is the
you're
old one,
giving them
isn't
to. And you're,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they're giving away unaltered animals. You're just making the problem.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're just, exactly.
Or
I know.
just
Yeah,
trying
I
to toss
know.
them in the backyard when they get to be too big. You're a pain in the ass. Outside you go. Oh,
And
go ahead,
they tie you to a
babies.
tree.
They were giving away
then
what
the-
seven
I
puppies
did
at Dollar
watch this
General.
weekend. I didn't see
I
after
didn't
you
see.
posted.
When we got there, they were already. He was gone.
Already gone.
Man.
Okay, it is unlawful for any person to sell, trade, barter, lease, rent, give away. Oh, sorry. Or display baby fowl or ducklings as pets or novelties. Sorry.
What page?
We don't do
which one
that.
I'm
are you-
on page 9.
Like the last one.
Number?
It is unlawful to abandon any animal within the corporate city limits of the city. But, yeah, that's,
Well,
to provide, it's unlawful to provide grooming, kenneling, or boarding of animals for a fee, or to breed and sell more than 2 litters from 1 or more animals on the same property in 1 calendar year, without complying with all applicable requirements of the ordinances of the city, to include ordinances regulating the permitted uses in the various zoning districts. So the nice thing is, these ordinances can be amended at any time. So if there's something in the ordinance that is not there, that you think should be there, that's the type of stuff you need to bring to Alderman Thomasini.
What about changing some of them?
Yeah, well, that's what
Change
I
them.
meant.
Yeah.
Amending, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So if there's something you go, that don't make sense, or they didn't think about that, or whatever, that's very easy to, make modifications to that. I know that Doug asked about fencing, and I don't recall if we,
It was
I don't think
something
that
about
we
restraints.
require they have a fence, but we do require that they contain the animal on their property. So read however you want, whether it's in a run, or it's in their house, or whatever it is.
And that's how most city ordinances are, is just to keep them on your property.
It says keep
There's-
such animal
there's very few that
exclusively on
say you have to
their
have a
premises by means of physical restraint or adequate fencing.
Yeah. But we can't, I don't know that we can require to mandate that somebody has to put a fence up. I just don't think that and honestly, I don't want to go there, But if you're gonna be a responsible pet owner, you should consider those things, not, you know.
I mean, it even gives guidelines on if you do have pens, cages, or shelters, so they can be in there. It just has to be
On the property.
on the property and surrounded by a fence or rock wall.
Another thing we're gonna consider on Thursday is local rabies control authority. It's something that we have to have in place. I'm thinking about you, but it's up to you, or if, it doesn't, from
Well,
what I
he
understand.
has to.
Oh, he has to?
Don't you have to have your rabies vaccination?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh.
Local rabies,
It's-
the local, the LRCA.
Oh,
That's
okay.
They
different.
report bites, I think that's what it's for, isn't that?
They report most of the, you know.
I think that's. what
In my
it's
mind, it
for.
makes sense for it to be you, but we're not gonna make you do things unless you would like to do them. Or, I don't even think it has to be a city official, it can be anybody who wants to do that. So, if y'all have any ideas on how we should possibly address that.
What is it?
It's called Local Rabies
Control
It's-
Authority.
It's in one, it's in one of the ordinances.
It would be in the state ordinance, the state statute, I think.
I mean, not the ordinances, the laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in here somewhere. Every city's supposed to have one.
I had printed one out for.
I saw it in here now, I never saw it.
Yeah, we're required to have
Registration.
It's a Texas Health and Safety Code designation of local rabies control authority.
Is it part of the health and safety code? Is it chapter 822 or is there a different chapter?
826.017.
Yeah, that's not in here.
I thought it was in here.
Okay, so 826.
So the Commissioners Court of each county and the governing body of each municipality shall designate an officer to act as the local rabies control authority for the purposes of the chapter. The officer designated may be the county health officer, municipal health officer, animal control officer, peace officer, or any entity that the Commissioners Court or governing body considers appropriate.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be an employee or an official from the city. It could be anybody.
And they have the authority to, among other duties, the local rabies control authority shall enforce this chapter, the ordinance or rules of the municipality or county that the local rabies control authority serves, and the rules adopted by the executive commissioner under the area rabies quarantines provisions of section blah, 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 blah.
So
So
it
that's
could
nice to
be
know.
Chris, it could be the marshal. We'll handle that in-house unless y'all just
Yeah.
don't have enough things to do.
I'm good.
We can always engage you. in-
I read all about that rabies thing. And was
Yeah.
like,
Okay, so, yeah, I think everybody's got their marching